Entering last year's playoffs, nobody expected Miami to make it out of the first round. They were going up against the first place Bucks, and to make matters worse, Tyler Herro broke his hand in Game 1 and was out for the rest of the postseason. To everyone's surprise, the Heat beat Milwaukee and went all the way to the finals. This concerned some because Herro had just gotten a 4-year, $120 million contract. To start the season, Miami has gone 3-4 when Herro plays versus 5-1 when he's out. This has created a narrative that the Heat are better without Herro. While the team record might suggest that, it doesn't tell the whole story. The Heat are really good without Herro, but they'll need him if they hope to win it all this year. Before we get into it, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 500 subscribers by the end of the year, and your support goes a long way. With all that being said, let's get into the video. Before we make assumptions based on the win-loss column, it's important to provide context. Last year, the Heat were 27th in three-point percentage, but come playoff time, they couldn't miss from three. If Herro hadn't got injured, he only would have added to that, and with better spacing around him, he would have been an even deadlier scorer. When Miami cooled off from three in the finals, Herro's absence was severely missed. The team couldn't generate quality offense, and Herro could have helped in that regard. You might be asking, if he's so valuable, why is Miami once again winning games without him? To that, I have two explanations. For one, Jimmy Butler started the season off slow, and two, Miami has had a light schedule with Herro out. Jimmy didn't play during the preseason, so he was still getting a rhythm back during the first few games. The Heat began with games at Boston, Minnesota, and Milwaukee, and Jimmy wasn't himself yet. Just when Jimmy was starting to look like his old self, Herro got injured. Herro played just 8 minutes against Memphis, but the Heat were able to take care of them, and they've also beat San Antonio and a depleted Hornets team since then. If Miami were beating contenders without Herro, that would be a different story. However, the Heat are simply taking care of business against lesser teams. Fans could be looking at Miami's poor regular season last year and using that against Herro, but that's not fair. Miami is simply a better team than they were last year, which is why they'll be a huge threat once Herro returns. The biggest reason for their improvement has been Bam Adebayo. Bam is averaging a career high in both field goal and free throw attempts, while maintaining his typical efficiency. He's always been known as an elite defensive player, but his aggressiveness on offense has been inconsistent. To start this season, Bam has attempted at least 12 shots each game, and he's made it to the free throw line in every game as well. This hasn't impacted his effort on defense either, as he's looking like a defensive player of the year candidate. He's been dominant on both ends of the floor, and with Jimmy getting older, it's important for Bam to play this way. If he keeps this up, he'll have a chance at making his first All-NBA team. Someone else who stepped up is Duncan Robinson. Duncan had a tough 2023 season, shooting just 37% from the field and 32% from three. However, he turned it around during the playoffs, and he's carried that into this season. He's been very efficient to start the year, but what's surprising everyone is his shot creation. When Duncan came into the league, he was strictly known as a shooter. He could hit spot-up threes or come off screens for an open look, but he was always being set up by his teammates. Over his first 5 years, Duncan Robinson's unassisted scoring percentage was never higher than 6.6%. This season, that number has skyrocketed. He's more of a threat going to the basket, and it's clear he put a lot of work in during the offseason. His drives are also opening up more passing lanes, and he's averaging a career high in assists as a result. While Bam and Duncan have been great, there are some new faces making contributions too. I know Haywood Highsmith was on the team last year, but he wasn't a consistent part of the rotation. This season, Highsmith has been great, and he's now a full-time starter. The most impressive part of Highsmith's game is his defensive versatility. He has a 7-foot wingspan, and that really bothers players. He can use his length to contest taller forwards, and he's able to steal the ball from smaller guards as well. With how he's been playing, it looks like he could fill the PJ Tucker role that Miami missed last year. The only thing I'd like to see him improve on is his three-point shot. For his career, Highsmith has made about 1/3 of his three-point attempts. He's not someone you can consistently leave wide open, but defenses aren't too threatened by his shooting just yet. If Highsmith could shoot 35 to 36% from 3, that would make Miami harder to guard, and he'd provide better spacing for his teammates. Regardless, Highsmith is going to be a big part of the rotation, and he's another undrafted player that Miami has developed. Another surprise player has been Jaime Jaquez. Jaquez played 4 years in college, and you can tell by the way he plays. He has good footwork, he has size, and he knows how to position himself and get to his spots. He's also been very good on the defensive end, which has earned him Spoelstra's trust. Jaquez is closing a lot of games, and there's been a few instances where he's played the entire fourth quarter. He's a perfect fit in Miami, and at just 22, he still has plenty of room to grow. His game reminds me of Jimmy Butler's, so it's perfect that he has him as a mentor. Jaquez will have an impact come playoff time, and he's given Miami even more wing depth. Highsmith, Jaquez, Duncan, and Jimmy have all been great, and Caleb Martin is now working his way back from injury. This team will have a deep playoff rotation, and given their recent playoff success, they'll be a destination for players on the buyout market. The Heat look better than last year, but they're built around Jimmy, Bam, and Herro being their best players. As good as Jimmy is, Miami can't win a championship with him being the sole creator on the perimeter. Kyle Lowry is past his prime, and guys like Duncan, Jaquez, Josh Richardson, and Drew Smith are complementary playmakers. We saw this on full display in their loss last night. Miami got out to a 22-1 lead by playing team basketball. However, when the game was close in the fourth, their style devolved into iso ball. This happens to every team, but it's important that you can still win this way. Tyler Herro is someone you can give the ball to and expect results. He can play well within a team concept, but when things go awry, he's someone you can turn to. Jimmy can do the same, but he wants to take a back seat during the regular season. When Herro comes back, he'll allow Jimmy to ease off and save some energy for the playoffs. Herro will also help improve the team's overall offense. Despite their strong start, Miami is still a below-average offensive team. Herro will change that because not only can he score, he can set up his teammates as well. Before his injury, Herro was averaging career highs in points, three-point percentage, assists, and steals. Jimmy and Bam have each made multiple All-Star games, but if Herro is also playing at an All-Star level, the Heat may surprise us once again come playoff time. Anyways, that's going to be all for today's video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. With all of that being said, I'm out, and I'll see you in the next video.